Hey, what's up, everyone? How you guys doing? Hope you're being safe, having fun, still collecting. Um, just a little bit of a news update. So, I've been taking a look on the internet and I found Hasbro's 2021 first quarter finance results conference call article. Um, it's basically stating that Hasbro Inc. said it would raise prices on toys and games to counter higher material raw material costs as the company sees surging demand in some of its brands, such as Nerf blasters and board games, from families spending more time at home. A quote from Hasbro's chief financial officer, Deborah Thomas, quote, freight and input costs increases have become more pronounced over the past several months, and we have plans to place to help mitigate those costs, including price increases for the second half of the year. Unquote. So, what does that mean? That means if you are a collector of anything that Hasbro makes, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Nerf, apparently, Marvel Legends, the second half of 2021, you're going to see a price increase in your collectibles or your toys that you buy for yourself or for your family, your children. Unfortunately, the article does not say how much. Are we looking at a very small increase? I doubt it. Be honest with you. For an example, if you are a collector of Fans Toys, which is a third-party company, those figures went up substantially, and their reasons were, overall cost of materials and shipping due to the pandemic. So the Hasbro is making that claim now also that they're having, offset cost. And obviously, every time a company comes across a financial problem, it falls on the consumer, also known as the collector. So what does that mean? That means we're going to see a percentage of their products price increase. Is it 10%? Okay. Is it 20%? So, for example, now if you're looking at a $13 Star Wars Vintage Collection figure, so they say it's 10%, now you're looking at another $1.30. If it's 20%, another $2.60. Now you're in a $15 increase. Not increase, but a total cost of around $15. I'm betting for a vintage collection. Now, if you're into the 6-inch, regardless if it's a Marvel Legends versus a Star Wars Black Series figure, those usually retail in the store at $19.99. So, if you're looking at 10%, now you're looking at $22. You're looking at 20%. Now that's $4 more, $24. And that's just, using those two percentages as an example. Is it more? No, I don't know. Let's hope not. So, what does it do for your collection? Are you going to, is it not going to affect you? Or does it make you mad? Does it just plan out want you to stop collecting? Do you just collect more? Do you collect selective pieces? You're more selective of what you buy. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that. If you guys heard anything about what percentage of those prices are going to go up. And usually I don't see that until like around the beginning of the year. You expect a cost to go up. Around the beginning of the year, usually does like for just basic inflation and of the economy. Now, for me, how it affects me, kind of irritates me a little bit because I know a lot of it's probably just smoke and mirrors, let's call it. They should try to keep it clean. They want more money. They want more money for their shareholders, for whoever. They're the guys up there making bunch of money is probably never even seen an action figure. I don't collect much of Hasbro stuff anymore, just because they irritate me. I do pretty much pick up what I like out of the Star Wars Vintage Collection series. I don't get them all. It mainly most of the time it's more a repaint or a re-release again in maybe one figure. So this lately I've just picked up like the Mandalorian figures because that's probably the best Star Wars product we've had in a long time. I don't collect much 6-inch. Do have a couple pieces, stuff that I like, I just keep it in the packaging because I don't collect or display 6-inch figures. I mean, who has the room? I mean, I grew up collecting 1/18 scale, and I've still collected today, and I barely had the room for my 1/18 scale collection, let alone, I can imagine having as many 6-inch figures as I have 3 3/4 inch or 1/18 scale, and having the space to display and then be able to enjoy it enough to invest that much time and space into and money. On top of that, Transformers, that's just to me, I just think the quality's gone. I mean, if you ever have your hands on a masterpiece, yes, there's a huge price difference between a masterpiece figure versus a figure you can buy at Walmart. But I'm telling you, man, those pieces are getting more and more expensive. Legends, what is that? Not Legends, Elite class. They're pushing 50, $60. You can get a small masterpiece for like $100. I mean, and it's way worth more of the extra bucks because of the sheer quality you get and the aesthetic, and especially if you're in the G1, and I did reference Fans Toys, so they were a pretty good price, and now they're just through the roof, and no one even knows what's going on with that company now. So kind of I got pretty much sold all my Transformers from Hasbro and just kept my masterpieces. But and then on the top of it all off, they just had that Hasbro Pulse thing where we had the new G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie coming out. So they released a bunch of role play stuff for kids. Yes, I understand that Hasbro can't function without having a kids market. And so they have a bunch of role play stuff for the Snake Eyes movie, masks, swords, weapons, etc. Some, kid friendly figures that were like 5-inch. I think that Night Creeper was pretty cool. But then they came out with this. Everybody's waiting. Okay, well, what about the 1/18 scale line? So they come out with their 6-inch classified line. They pop out 5 figures. Most of them are Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Baroness, and I forget the Scarlet, and then they had a new one, Akiko, for 5 figures. I mean, you get one new character, and you got another Snake Eyes, another Storm Shadow, and that Storm Shadow looks terrible. The coloring on that figure is gross, in my opinion. So and then bam, it's over. So there's nothing. So going back to what I said, you need a movie or a cartoon, some type of media to push your product, and then they come out and say, okay, there's no 1/18 scale G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie figure line like they did for the Retaliation, which was, I think, some of the coolest figures they came out with on Hasbro standard. So a lot of people were very, very upset about that. And then for me, it's just another push away from their products. And it pushes me obviously towards what you see in front of you. These small batch companies that we need, like Joy Toy, Haya Toys, Acid Rain, or Toy Alliance, which is Toy Alliance. So I really enjoy how Joy Toy continues to improve, and Acid Rain continues to improve. I'm really hoping that Haya Toys gets on the improvement train and starts improving their figures in quality, and especially their joints and stuff. So, but Hasbro, man, I don't know. They're just it's getting ridiculous. If you are a collector for a long time, in my opinion, they kind of they slap you in the face with this. You collect 1/18 scale for however many years that you There's people out there that collect 20, 30, 40 years, depending how old you are. And then they come along, bam. We're not producing, we're going to put new media out there. We're going to put new characters, but you can't have them in your 1/18 scale because, what it comes down to is exactly this. They make more money off of a 6-inch figure than they do off in a 1/18 scale figure. That is the honest truth right there. That's all it is. It's money. They probably can produce that 6-inch figure just as much as that 1/18 scale figure, but they can charge more for it, which makes them a bigger profit margin. And that's it right there. Hasbro, I think, in my opinion, is solely on a mission to destroy the 1/18 scale line, for them at least. So, and then they're going to increase their prices, and I think some of their quality and the little bit of pieces I pick up, like for the Star Wars Vintage Collection, are far from anything that's even worth the $13 you pay for it. The articulation is bad. The whole over aesthetics are just sometimes crazy. Like the Zootin, it wasn't the greatest. And the Mandalorian figures are pretty cool, especially with Mando. But there's definitely some issues. I have some reviews for those if you want to check those out. So you can see what I'm talking about on different figures, how they apply. I just think overall, I watched that part with the G.I. Joe for the Hasbro Pulse thing just recently, and those guys, they come out with all this enthusiasm and excitement and honestly, those guys ain't got a clue. I mean, they hire these people out of the blue, and they don't know about the rich history of G.I. Joe, for example, and they're just selling stuff and saying that these are, absolutely amazing figures, and, I honestly don't know what they're talking about. Fortunately, these are people that are in control, they're making the products, and then they don't listen. Hasbro is one of those other companies that don't listen to the fans, Right now, their top selling toy line is Transformers. Believe it or not, even with the waffle backs, you turn the figure, they look horrible from behind. They cut out the back pieces to save on materials, and you don't think they're having problems. They were cutting back and creating waffle backs to the legs and arms and insides of the arms of the figures. You don't think that's going to increase? I think you're going to be sadly surprised how they cut back on materials and raise the price. So that's my opinion on it. I think that we're all going to be not very happy in the future with the quality that they're going to be releasing and with the price points. I'm betting it's going to be pretty unsettling for collectors. So I'm kind of curious what you guys think about this whole thing. Except for me, I don't really care. One or two pieces here and there is not going to affect me much, but I know there's every other collection. I mean, if you're a completist, you're going to definitely see a bigger hit in your bank account. So, hope you guys enjoyed this little update from Hasbro's price increase this year. So look forward for that on the end of 2021. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below, and I'll answer your questions best that I can. Share any information that you may have on the topic, and we'll see you in our next review.